Welcome to Family Service. The purpose of this video is to inform you of some of our safety policies and how we ensure that our staff stay safe during their work time. Family Service is accredited by the Council on Accreditation. All of our safety policies can be found on the H drive. Our safety policies all meet the standards of ASC 6 and ASC 7 with the Council on Accreditation. Family Service values communication, and we have a very formal communication plan. We have all staff meetings semi-annually. We have management team meetings and leadership team meetings weekly. Each of our programs also has staff meetings. We have quality improvement meetings that happen quarterly, and safety committee meetings happen quarterly. All of the notes from these meetings can be found on the H drive. We also produce a Team Talk newsletter that goes out to all of our staff quarterly. This is distributed by one of our admin assistants. Each of our programs also produces newsletters. Some of those programs produce newsletters monthly, some quarterly, but those are also available to all staff. Our financial reports, agency policies and procedures, and Paycor can all be accessed online. It is good to be aware as we're working of all of the potential risks that we may encounter during our work hours. This may include trips, slips, and falls, may include violent consumers or children. It could include weather. But it's good to think about these potential risks as we're working so that we can be better prepared to handle anything in the event that it happens. It's also good to be aware of our surroundings. We should let our supervisors know where we're working at and who we're working with. And it's also good to be knowledgeable about any exits available when we're working with clients and how we might get to those exits quickly if we need to. Family Service has de-escalation procedures within some of our behavior management policies. We do not use any kind of restrictive procedures in behavior management. All of our de-escalation procedures are not restrictive in nature. It is ignoring behaviors, ignoring challenging questions, respecting personal space, and staying calm in an attempt to try and calm down the child or consumer. The Family Service bloodborne pathogen policy also includes an exposure control program. All of our program coordinators and supervisors are aware of our bloodborne pathogen policy. Just know that if you are exposed, we do have that policy and a plan, and you should contact your supervisor immediately. The most important part of our bloodborne pathogen policy is hand washing and to try and limit any exposure. So keeping the site clean. If you see any blood or any liquids, do not touch it. Always wear gloves. And let your supervisor know immediately if you are exposed. With our first aid and medical emergencies, it's important to know where our first aid kits are found. We have several of them located around our Family Service office, as well as at each of our sites. These can be used for any minor injuries. We also have what is now called the incident report or an injury report. Please speak with your supervisor and be aware of which report to use when, and make sure those are filled out appropriately. It's also important to know that in the case of an emergency, to call 911. In the case of an exposure to poison control number is located on all of our phones within the Family Service office. Note what the child was exposed to or what the client was exposed to. Call poison control, report the incident, and follow their instructions. It's also important to contact the child or the client's emergency contact if this ever should happen. In the event of smoke or a fire evacuation, each floor has evacuation routes posted throughout the floor. Be familiar with these evacuation routes and the exits in your work area. Family Service holds fire drills twice a year, and we also provide staff with fire extinguisher safety training through our Safe Personnel portal. In the event of smoke or a fire, you should evacuate the building immediately. You should check your area for any visitors or any other clients that may need help out, and then stay outside until the fire department may give an all clear for us to return to work. Once you're outside, go directly to the assembly point, report your attendance there to the executive director, and do not re-enter the building until you are given the all clear by the fire department. In the event of a bomb threat, if you receive the bomb threat over the phone, ask a colleague to call 911, remain calm, and do not hang up. Even if the caller hangs up, you should still not hang up the phone. Then you should check the area for unusual objects and leave the office immediately. Do not turn off lights, do not use intercoms, do not lock the doors, just evacuate the area. In the event of a power outage, the executive director will determine if the office needs to be closed and what the procedures will be. So just look for communication from the executive director or the safety director. In the event of a tornado, you should know where our designated tornado shelter is. You should also know that our tornado shelter is equipped with flashlights and a battery-operated radio. Drills will be conducted semi-annually. In the event of a tornado watch, just make sure you're aware of your surroundings. Make sure you know your evacuation route and how to get to the tornado shelter, and also be aware of any visitors in your area so that you can prepare in the event that it is issued there to be a tornado warning. If the tornado watch does move into a warning, that is when you should seek shelter immediately and go to the designated tornado shelter. You should also help any clients or visitors in your area to that shelter. Family Service also has a continuity and recovery plan in the event of something happening to the Family Service office where it is no longer able to be open. So that continuity and recovery plan is available on our H drive. We also have posted in the front office our client rights and responsibilities. You should find these client rights and responsibilities either in the front office or on the H drive and familiarize yourself with these. Some of them include clients have the right to being treated fair, to being listened to being able to review some of their client information, but they also have the responsibility to arrive promptly for their session, to pay their bills in a timely manner, and to communicate openly and honestly with staff. So please look for these client rights and responsibilities and make sure you're familiar with them.